Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian. I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this horrific war with Russia. In my videos I try to provide you some important stories from our everyday war life and also to explain some facts from our history and culture. Also, I'm really grateful for your comments and your support that you demonstrate, because being at war, it is extremely important for us Ukrainians to feel that the world is still with us and you support us. A couple of days ago, we were all very much surprised by the unexpected visit of Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who had a very dynamic walk with our president down the Hryshchatyk Street that is still very dangerous. And it was a very nice signal and a very nice symbol of a totally different world from the one that war criminal Putin lives in, hidden somewhere in his bunker in the mountains. And it is a great contrast of what we are fighting for: freedom, support, courage. With all the advantages and disadvantages, still they have demonstrated this extremely important symbol of what is courage and what is solidarity. So we were very grateful for that. Another important message was actually from the very popular band Pink Floyd, who have decided to film a very nice video clip, and I will leave a link under my video. That was about a combination of the work of our Ukrainian singer Hlyvnyuk and the song Hey Hey Rise Up, and it is a very nice message for all Ukrainians. And I have read some of the comments under this video and saw that many people in those cities that suffer a lot from Russian shellings, like Mariupol, like Kharkiv, were actually writing their gratitude to Pink Floyd and telling them they were watching and listening to this music directly under the bombings of the Russian troops. And I think, again, it's a very strong and important message of a civilized world, and art and music and culture is very important. By the way, if you like that, maybe one of my next vlogs I can dedicate to Ukrainian war songs and tell you about some important songs that we listen to. And I would like to tell a few words about this song, Hey Hey Rise Up, which is actually the anthem of Ukrainian Sichovi Streltsi. That was a military formation inside the Austrian-Hungarian army during the Austrian-Hungarian Empire that was on one part of Ukrainian territory. And it was a very strong, independent formation, and the song is actually based on the Ukrainian national song, but with some additions. And it was written in 1914, and we all know that this period in the global history was also very important for the formation of cultures. And in this song we sing about Viburnum, which is a very important plant in Ukrainian culture. I know that in many countries, in many nations, you have important plants or something. For example, at school I've learned that rose is a symbol of England and thistle is a symbol of Scotland, and in Ukraine, Viburnum and willow tree. So we even have a saying, something poetic, that there is no Ukraine without Viburnum and willow. Viburnum, this is a bush with very red berries, and it blooms nicely, and it's a symbol of family, of motherhood and virginity at the same time, and it often stands for Ukraine in general. And I might tell you, we eat Viburnum. It's not very tasty, but you have to gather it when it's cold. It becomes tastier with the first frosts, and its berries become sweeter because its taste is bittersweet. And it's very typical in Ukrainian villages, for example, to smash these berries with sugar, and then you can drink them as tea, or when someone has got a cold, and it has a very weird smell. The majority won't like it, but it's very tasty. So very often after I can drink this tea, or I don't know how to call it. It's not exactly the tea. This is actually that kind of Viburnum jam with hot water. But after you drink it, you wash your cup very quickly. Also, you can prepare various sauces with it. And in the old times, it was very popular in Ukrainian homes to cut the branch of Viburnum in winter, to bring it home, to put it into the water, and in a couple of weeks it can bring flowers, it can bloom and decorate the house. So this is a very important plant that we often associate with Ukraine. And another important symbol is a sunflower, and many of you leave sunflowers in the comments, and true, they are very popular on the territory of Ukraine. This is one of the most popular agricultural plants, plus, you know, the combination of blue skies and yellow sunflowers resembles our national colors. And also there are lots of sunflowers on the territory of the Ukrainian steppes in Donbass. And for a very long period, starting from 2014, I guess they were symbols of the Ukrainian-Russian war and Ukrainian resistance. And I have read one article of our famous Ukrainian writer Oksana Zabushko. I have read it in 2014, and I remember that I was very emotional reading this article, and there are things you don't want to return back, but now that we go through an even worse war with Russia, I would like to retell it. After one of the very tragic battles in 2014, she was traveling to the steppes of Ukraine that were covered by those sunflowers, some of which were burned, but she said she could hear lots of mobile phones still ringing from time to time. These were mobile phones of the fallen soldiers who were taken away from the battlefield, but their telephones were somewhere left in the fields. And it seems to me that the article was entitled something like "For Whom the Bell Tolls" in Hemingway, and it was similar for whom these telephones call in the sunflower fields of Ukrainian Donbass. But at the same time, a sunflower has also a funny war history behind this concept. At the very start of this war, when Russian troops were moving very actively on the territory of Kherson region, and Kherson region is a very rich Ukrainian region, agricultural, many good, like we know that tomatoes are the best from Kherson, watermelons are the best from Kherson, and also they have lots of fields with sunflowers. And one of the old ladies, or you call them grannies, we have another Ukrainian word for that, but met these soldiers, and she was so brave. She was attacking them, she was telling them to stop, that it is not their land, to go away. And when they started quarreling, and she was really brave because they had guns with them, and she told them, you have to put seeds in your sunflower seeds in your pockets. So after Ukrainian soldiers kill you and we bury you, you will bring some use to Ukrainian land, and you will grow back as sunflower. And she was so brave, and it was an extremely important video. It's not high quality because it was filmed on a phone or something, but it was a very strong message for the rest of Ukraine that we are not going to give up. And now many of you compliment my country and tell that we are a breadbasket of Europe and the world. And already on the news we have lots of photos of Ukrainian farmers in Zaporizhia, in Kherson regions, who starts this sowing on the fields wearing bulletproof vests, because there are still shootings and the Russian troops are really close to those fields. And there are even photos of Ukrainian soldiers demining the field, and a couple of 100 meters you will see Ukrainian farmers already sowing this field. And again, I think this is a very strong message to the world. Well, sunflowers we mainly use for doing the oil and for eating, because sunflower seeds are very popular in Ukraine, and we eat them just like, not add them to bread, but we can eat them like peanuts or something. Anyway, all of these plants are beautiful and important, and Ukraine is a peaceful agricultural country. And when I think about this trees and plants, I would tell you that definitely this is a willow, a viburnum, a sunflower. In my region that is surrounded by forests, this will definitely be a pine tree, and black blueberries and bilberries. We have lots of them in the forests, and we export them when everything is fine. And anyway, I think that there are lots of things, minor details that do not get into the news, but they demonstrate this Ukrainian character and the fact that they cannot make us fall, because we stand for Ukraine, we stand for our villages, we stand for our fields, for our plants, for our animals, for our country, and we stand for the whole civilized world. And we are really glad when we feel that support in all various forms. So I'm grateful for your subscription, I'm grateful for your comments, and I'm particularly grateful to those of you who in various discussions with people poisoned by Russian propaganda stand for Ukraine and explain that it is a totally wrong picture of the world. And with every Russian crime, I believe there are fewer and fewer people like that. Thank you once again for watching. Let me know, would you like to have a vlog on Ukrainian war songs? I will leave in a link a Pink Floyd song that was extremely important for us Ukrainians, and Slava Ukraini!